Angel Reese entered the WNBA like a comet blazing across the sky, flashing with hype, fire, and an avalanche of attention. Chicago branded her as its next franchise pillar, the Chai Barbie, a swagger-drenched powerhouse who would light up the scoreboard and fill seats like no one before her. But now, not even halfway through her second season, that bright promise is flickering under the harsh spotlight of unmet expectations and growing internal frustration. What started as a celebration has twisted into a slow, very public unraveling. And in Chicago, the once welcoming hands are now pointing fingers. The drama detonated when Jeff Pagliocca, the Chicago Sky general manager, did what few in professional sports dare to do. He named names. He didn't dance around it or offer generic platitudes. He called out Angel Reese directly, slamming down the gauntlet with a pointed declaration that the team needed more. Not wanted. Needed. It was a thunderclap that echoed far beyond the locker room walls, shaking up a franchise already on the ropes. This wasn't a post-game coach's complaint or a one-off interview soundbite. This was a strategic, public body check, the kind that makes headlines not for the shock value but for what it signals behind the scenes. Pagliocca's frustration wasn't a sudden outburst. It had been building like pressure under a boiling lid. Missed layups, missed chances, missed moments to lead. The numbers told a story few could ignore. Angel's scoring had dipped, her efficiency had tanked, and her once dominant physicality looked more like chaos than control. But it wasn't just stats that drew the ire of Chicago's front office. It was something deeper. A creeping sense that this entire experiment might have been a mistake. That they fell in love with an image, not a fully formed player. Behind closed doors, executives had been analyzing footage, not for highlights, but for warning signs. And they found plenty. From botched putbacks to blown transitions, every possession turned into a cautionary tale. The energy Reese brought was undeniable, but energy alone doesn't win games. Then came the disaster in Atlanta. A performance so jarring it was almost surreal. Layups clanged off the rim with cartoonish awkwardness. Point-blank shots bounced away like the ball had a mind of its own. Every mistake wasn't just a miss, it was a momentum killer. Her presence on the court became a weight rather than a weapon. And social media, they went nuclear. Frame-by-frame breakdowns of her flubs turned into viral mockery. Analysts compared her finishing skills to amateur hour bloopers, and fans stopped asking when she'd turn it around. Instead, they began asking if she ever would. But the ugliest part of the meltdown wasn't online. It was happening in the very building she was meant to command. Teammates stopped passing her the ball. Possessions where she had perfect post position ended with her being ignored completely. There were even shot clock violations where it seemed clear the team would rather throw up a prayer than risk another Reese brick. The optics were devastating. And you didn't need a lip reader to understand what the silence between teammates was screaming. Still, Angel Reese kept saying the right things. She spoke about working hard, about critiquing herself more than anyone else. But self-awareness only matters if it translates into progress. And in her case, the progress wasn't visible. Instead, the media storm kept circling, with headlines following her like a shadow and every underwhelming stat sheet adding another crack in the foundation. The locker room, once a place of unity, has begun to fracture. Veterans are reportedly fed up. They're tired of watching golden opportunities evaporate under the weight of forced narratives and celebrity noise. Some believe Angel's WNBA arrival was rushed, that she needed time to develop but was fast-tracked for marketing purposes. Chicago wanted a face of the franchise. What they got, some are saying, is an unfinished product surrounded by distractions. And then there's the Caitlin Clark factor. While Angel Reese has been battling inefficiency, inconsistency, and whispers of entitlement, Clark is racking up highlights, records, and wins with the Indiana Fever. The contrast couldn't be starker. Clark is calm, focused, letting her game speak louder than any media circus. Reese, on the other hand, is drowning in a storm of her own creation. And the league, the fans, and now even her own teammates are starting to notice. Inside Chicago's front office, the word trade hasn't gone public. But sources say the search is on. The GM is reportedly exploring options, forwards who can contribute quietly, effectively, and without drama. Reese isn't being pushed out the door, not yet. But make no mistake, she's on the clock. This isn't a league that forgives slowly. It moves fast, especially when expectations aren't met and chemistry turns toxic. Every miss now matters more. Every minute on the floor is a referendum on whether she belongs. Some insiders say she needs a benching. Others whisper that a fresh start might be best, for her and for the team. Even her supporters are shifting tone. The phrase "she's young, she'll figure it out" is giving way to "how much more time does she get?" And what's worse? The perception of favoritism. Inside the locker room, it's not just performance that's causing tension, it's fairness. Players are wondering, if any of us played like this, would we still be on the court? Would we still be featured in the marketing? Would we still be treated like stars? That's not jealousy. That's a cultural crack that can destroy a team from within. Angel Reese made waves last year when she defiantly declared that the rise of women's basketball wasn't just about one player, it was about her too. That quote now haunts her. Because in the year that followed, the only rise she's been associated with is in turnovers and frustration. And while she was supposed to be one of the new faces of the league, Caitlin Clark quietly became its undeniable engine. The truth is harsh, but necessary. Angel Reese is at a crossroads. No more benefit of the doubt. No more patience from coaches. No more guaranteed passes from teammates. It's performance or perish now. And unless something changes fast, she may go down not as the future of the Chicago Sky, but as a painful reminder of what happens when marketing outpaces development. At this point, confidence without results is just noise. Swagger without stats is just branding. And presence without performance? That's not star power. That's a cautionary tale. The GM's drawn the line. The locker room is splintering. And the countdown is real. So what do you think? Has Angel Reese been treated unfairly by the Chicago Sky, or is the criticism justified? Is it time for the team to move on, or can she still become the star they hoped for? Comment below, fire up the discussion, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more explosive sports drama breakdowns.